Hello, and welcome to Burning Issues, the only program that provides you with a regular glimpse inside the Wichita Fire Department. I am Division Chief Tammy Snow, and in this episode we will talk about the importance of firefighter training and the Regional Training School Wichita HOT. With me today is Captain Kelly Ross and Chief Bob Wolf. Could you please tell us a little bit about your history with Wichita Fire Department?
Sure. I'm got 29 years on the fire department. We'll be celebrating 30 years in March. Currently, I'm a battalion chief with Battalion 2 on the B shift, and I'm also a technical rescue coordinator.
I've been here 15 years. My current position is the captain in the safety training division.
Well, this is great. That leads into our topic today in regards to Wichita HOT. Kelly, you've been involved with Wichita HOT for quite some time, in fact, since its inception. Could you describe or tell us a little bit about Wichita HOT and also what the acronym HOT stands for?
Sure. Wichita HOT stands for hands-on training. This concept was brought about 6 or 7 years ago through a series of our own personnel going to different training venues such as FDIC in Indianapolis and the Firehouse Expo in Baltimore. And as our people came back, we always thought we can do some of this training right here in our own backyard. And that's really how this thing got started. And from this point forward, this is our 5th year that we've done it now. And it's continued to grow each year, and we've had a tremendous amount of people come through Wichita HOT, and we really have enjoyed doing it.
Chief Wolf, could you tell us a little bit why training is so important to not only the firefighters but also to the residents that we serve?
The fire service is changing. The fires that we're fighting nowadays versus when I first came on are a lot different. Fires are burning hotter, they're getting hotter quicker, and then you throw in the addition of lightweight construction. What we're faced now, we have to constantly keep up on new tactics and strategies and new abilities to fight the fires of today and tomorrow.
Kelly, Wichita HOT isn't just for Wichita firefighters. Over the past 5 years, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we keep drawing firefighters from other states even, outside of our county, but other states in. Can you give us an idea about how many participated, how many outside fire departments, or just total numbers that participated in Wichita HOT this year, and what kind of things did they learn?
Sure. This year we had about 130 participants. Many of those participants were from the state of Kansas. However, we did have some people that represented fire departments from Missouri, Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma, as well as our instructors that we bring in. Our focus is to keep the training that is pertinent to not only what we do in a metropolitan city, but as well as small town fire departments. And for instance, this year's keynote was a lieutenant in the New York City Fire Department. And we had 3 members from the New York City Fire Department that came in and they instructed. We had firefighters from Baltimore City, Maryland. We had firefighters from Ocean City, Maryland, from Gary, Indiana, from as far away as from Ohio. So our mission is like I said, is to keep the training pertinent. We always have some tactics and strategies type of things. We have classroom offerings. So there's a little bit of everything, and it doesn't really matter if you're a volunteer, a career, or a combination of both. There's something that Wichita HOT has to offer.
And Bob, are these classes are they offered anywhere else in the country? And if so, or if not, what kind of fees would be associated with these types of classes?
Well, a lot of these classes are offered throughout the country. Some of them, though, are new. A lot of the instructors that Kelly mentioned will put together a new class that they're going to take nationally. And a lot of times, there are a few classes in Wichita HOT this year that were going to be is basically the trial run for them before they took them nationally on a national level. So there's a variety in there, some of them new, some of them have been taught around the country. As far as price-wise, you can't beat the price here with the, and that's what we try to keep it at. We keep it at a low price so that the volunteers and people that don't have a lot of money can come in. And a lot of the instructors, national instructors, donated their time free to come in here and do this because they realize in the Midwest that we like to offer something that about anyone can attend.
Well, that sounds great. Sounds like a great training opportunity. And I know both of you have invested a lot of your own time and your own money going to outside training, and then you bring back and you share it with with the, like in HOT and with the members of the Wichita Fire Department. Is this kind of investment that you guys make of your own time and money necessary? And how would you say that it would relate to saving lives within the Wichita community?
Well, I think when we, both Bobby and I, came on the job, part of my responsibility is to go out and receive as much education as I can. And sometimes that involves going to different seminars, conferences, and I've spent a tremendous amount of my own money going to different places. You know, I've been to Baltimore, I've been to Indianapolis multiple times. And like I said, I think it's my responsibility, especially with my current position, is to bring back things for our own members that in the long run, everybody's ultimate goal is safety. And there's a tremendous amount of learning in those environments that you can bring back to our own members. And so I feel like it's part of my responsibility as a captain in the safety training division to try to receive as much education as I can so I can pass it on to our own members.
Well, that's super. That's great. I mean, you seem to fit the role model of a public servant. That's a great opportunity. Wichita HOT has a number of partners that have assisted in making Wichita HOT successful. Bob, could you tell us a little bit about some of those partners and why it is important to the success of HOT that we continue to develop these partnerships?
Sure. You know, the Wichita Fire Department is a big participant in there. We use a lot of our own instructors and some of our equipment. The Fools of Oz also provides instructors. In addition to the Salvation Army comes out and assists us with rehab, because on the hot days, you got to realize that it can be pretty enduring. And so the Salvation is out there. A lot of our equipment manufacturers provide us equipment to utilize, and then plus give us money to make it a less expensive conference for everybody. In addition, the colleges get involved. They give us resources that they have for equipment, and then plus personnel for logistics.
There's simply said, there is no way we could do this without the support of not only our own Wichita administration, but the Butler County Community College, for example, Hutch County Community College. Go Wichita puts together a packet for our participants that come in from out of state. So, and as we worked our way through this is our 5th year of doing this. We've really narrowed down the focus, and there's a lot of things that come into play in this. And without our partners, we couldn't do it.
I understand you're the president of Fools of Oz. Could you explain to the community what Fools of Oz is and what their mission is? Yeah,
Fools of Oz, it was started in the late 80s. It's an international group. What it stands for is Fraternal Order of Leatherhead Society. What we believe is, and we promote, is tradition in the fire service, training in the fire service, and brotherhood and sisterhood. One of our big key aspects of the Fools is our training. It's kind of our belief that we need to be the best prepared and be able to do the best we can for not only our citizens, but the safety of the other firefighters. So we put a big emphasis in training, and a lot of the Fools members travel and do instruction in other states and other cities, and that's why we were able to bring in Fools instructors from other parts of the country.
Oh, it sounds like a great relationship that you have. So you just basically, I scratch your back, you scratch mine type of
right. We just for instance, we had a number of our own members that just got back from Arkansas a couple weeks ago. Went down there and did some teaching for them, and in return, they're going to come here and do some for us as well. So it's a really good partnership that we have.
It's a real win-win situation, and most of the people in the organization really drives home the belief in our profession and how important it is for us to operate on that high level.
Wichita HOT has turned into an extremely large training event. How does that affect Wichita Fire Department's response on the days of the event, since it does involve so many Wichita firefighters?
Sure. We have a number of people that, both on and off duty, that participate in Wichita HOT. One of the things we do when we have a normal training event during the week is we allow 18 of our members to attend drill. Those companies are typically out of service. However, if they need to respond to an emergency, they're able to do that. Wichita Hot's no different. We allow up to a drill complement, what we call drill complement, coming to our event. And a lot of times, especially for Wichita Hot, they're in various locations throughout the city, and they are always ready to respond to an emergency. So there may be a few companies that are out of service, but in reality, we still have tremendous coverage throughout the city.
So basically what you're saying, Kelly, is that it doesn't affect the response. And if at any time something major would happen within the city, or something that Wichita Fire Department members would need to respond to, they're able to do that.
Absolutely. And we can take the 130 participants that are here in Wichita Hot, and we can take them with us to help. So
it's got a lot of additional.
Right.
And in addition to the equipment, you know, we get a lot of equipment donated to use by vendors, and also the colleges allow us to use their equipment. So that way we're not using that much of Wichita Fire Department equipment. Thus, it's available to the citizens.
Yes, and it's a tremendous opportunity for us to. We use this as a field test for a lot of the equipment that we receive, and then we evaluate that equipment, and afterwards we make decisions as to what our needs are. And a lot of times we have great information because the various classes that we teach are using different equipment. So it's a great thing for us.
Kelly, you mentioned that Wichita Hot was in different locations throughout the city. Could you tell us a little bit about where some of the locations of these training sessions were taking place at?
Sure. One of the events that we had, one of the hands-on training venues, was what we call a bread and butter class, and it's basically a handline stretching class, a search class. That was held off-site at 21st and Kansas area. We had a number of events that were held actually at our training facility. And then we had a few more that were spread out throughout the city. And typically what we try to do is, if we have a class that we're teaching that requires a structure, is we start making our contacts early in the year so we can get something lined up. And we have so many people that we can't fit them all into one central location. So that's the reason that we do that.
And so basically, you know, like we talked earlier about the partnerships, this is where you have to partner with the city and other private industries to try to obtain vacant houses or homes that are going to be destroyed so that you can actually use them for training.
Absolutely. And we do that. We have to do that.
That's super that the community has supports the program also.
Yes, it is. It's been a great help for us.
Bob, this is Wichita Hot's 5th year. Can you tell us what kind of effect it's had on not only the Wichita Fire Department, but outside communities or outside firefighters from other communities?
Yeah, it's had a tremendous effect over the years to even build up. One thing, when we allow this training and provide this training for the smaller communities around Wichita, it helps them get up to speed on where we're thinking and what we're doing, raises our skill level. And so when we have to respond outside in the community to assist, or they come in and assist us, we're more on the same page. We get benefits that way. In addition, the sharing of information. For example, talk about a big city outside of state, Lincoln, Nebraska, has been sending people to Wichita Hot the past 2 years. One thing that they learned was through our truck company. We had just initiated truck companies here 2 years ago. They brought that information and information that we taught them in Hot. They took that back to Lincoln, Nebraska, and now they're starting to move forward with their truck company. So it's a share of information, plus the information we get from them. Anytime you instruct, you're learning stuff, and you're bringing in different organizations. They might have an idea that works, yeah, that's a great idea on this problem, but we found that utilizing this method works better. So we get taught a lot too.
It's a great opportunity too for smaller departments, because I think the thing that really makes it the most important to me is when we have some participants from other departments that go back to their department and they go to an incident that maybe we did some training or taught them a technique, and they call us up and they say, hey, what you guys showed me really worked, and it was really great. So that's a good thing for us.
All right, my understanding is that Wichita Hot isn't just about fighting fires and search and rescue in commercial buildings and those types of things, but it also has to do with classes that pertain particularly to the rural community. Can you elaborate a little bit about some of the other classes that you had that just weren't focused on just fires?
Okay, yeah, one of the classes was man versus machine. What that dealt with is learning new procedures on getting people out of, say, choppers, shredders, you know, what you'd find in a rural setting where people would maybe get their hand caught in an auger or something. This individual that came in was showing techniques that they can use to free victims without using a lot of this elaborate equipment, just mainly using your head and stuff that they found by trial and error what actually works. So that hit the rural setting. In addition, like our engine company class too, was more tailored towards smaller communities that don't have a lot of people on an engine company.
One of the things we also did inside from the classroom perspective was we had a division chief from the Oklahoma City Fire Department that taught a command sequence class. That particular class was geared more toward the company officer type of class, and they discussed a number of things that they do in Oklahoma City, things that he's seen abroad. So there's all kinds of different classes that one can take out there.
So it's apparent that by participating in HOT, I mean, it's kind of a variety, a cafeteria thing. You kind of go in and you pick and choose what's appropriate for you, and you can use it as a great learning opportunity at an extremely low cost.
Yes, and we had a number of different classes. I think we had 8 classes altogether, classroom settings, and then Saturday is our classroom venues, and then Sunday is the actual hands-on training. So you can pick either one. If you only want to go to the Saturday's classes, you can do that, or if you want to do both, you can do that as well. So there's a little bit for everybody.
Well, thank both of you for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
That concludes this episode of Burning Issues. Remember, Wichita firefighters are highly trained professionals who are your friends and neighbors. They are Wichita's bravest, and they are somewhere serving you every day.